a dry and thirsty land where no water is. And then he went on to say in Psalm 42, he said, as the hart panted after the water brooks, so my soul pant after thee, to see thy power and thy glory. He was hungry for God. David likened his manifestation, he likened his hunger, his desire for God, like that of an hart. Have you seen the deer before? It has a tentacle. The hart has a tentacle. When it senses water, if there is no water in Lafia, and then the hart senses water in Akwanga, it will set its tentacle straight in any direction that will take him to Akwanga. It doesn't care if there is a mountain, it doesn't care if there is a tree. The hart will jump the tree, jump the mountain until it gets to the water to drink. So David likened his hunger for God like the hart. He said, as the hart panted after the water brooks, so my soul longed after thee. So one of the qualities we saw in Ezekiel, the Bible said in verse 6, for he clave to the Lord. He attached himself to the Lord. When we're getting to that mountain, I forgot to say this to all of you. When we're getting close to that mountain, we saw two girls with school bag. They were walking out because we almost missed our way. We saw them coming out. We asked them, we said, where are you coming from? That was the first time I've seen a lady with red eye. The eyes were like blood, both of them. We said, where are you coming from? They said, they couldn't even talk. They said, we came from this house of prayer. So we said, you came here? It's from there you are coming from? Where's the direction? They showed us the direction. How long did you stay there? They said they just came to do 40 days retreat. They were there to do 40 days retreat. We say, are you student? They say, yes, they are student of University of Abuja. That's, the semester is over, so they have 1 month break or so. So they decided, instead of going to watch movie, instead of going to Netflix to go and watch movies, to go and visit friends, they decided to come and do a retreat. So they were living with red eyes. It thought I had goosebumps when I looked at them. They carried God. They were not in a hurry for popularity. They went to carry God. And they carried his presence out of the place. Ezekiel said, I clave to the Lord and departed not from following him. Did you see that? He clave to the Lord. I discovered something, that the more you begin to love God, the more you want to love him more. You can't be satisfied. When you ask God to bring you to a realm, when he brings you to the realm, he will expand your hunger. When he expands your hunger, you are not even in a hurry to leave that place. You want to remain there again. He expands your hunger. You want to remain there again. The more you look for him, the more you want to stay in that place. He expands your hunger. One thing God did for me when I left that place, I just discovered that there was a hunger to pray. A desire, a longing for God to pray. That one day, I left my house, I saw a bush. It was just like a bush around that place. I just strolled there, I said, let me pray. And then I knelt there, I was praying. That was the first time. I used to see this snake they call python. I used to see it on picture. It was that day I saw python live. So while I was praying, I didn't know that I was hearing sound. And because I was carried away, I was hearing a sound. I didn't know. So I knelt where I was praying. I didn't know that this snake woke up. It was in my front. It stood like this. It wasn't like this. So, but I was lost in praying. I was praying. I was crying. I was saying, oh God, I just want to know you more. I want to know you more. I was there. I want to know you more. I was crying. I want to know you more. With my Bible, I was just praying. I was just praying. After I just finished praying, I was just trying to pick the hanky to clean my face. As I did my eye like this, the next thing I saw was a snake in my front. Now, let me shock you. I was not scared. I didn't know why. If it was now, I would be scared. But I was not scared. I was kneeling. It was looking at me. I was looking at it. Because I knew what I was doing there. So I knew I was done with the prayer. I was happy. I was looking at it. It was looking at me. It was just doing like this. It was just doing like this. So I didn't know how to run because I was already tired. I was weak. I was just looking at it. It was just doing like this. And then I just had shh. It just moved. I was watching. The big tree there, it was climbing the tree. It was climbing the tree. I was just watching. It was like a movie. I picked my Bible. I took off with speed. I ran. But where I was going is that you can be lost in prayer. You can't remember anything around you. This one that people are praying, your phone will ring. You want to check who is calling you. You say, no, I'll call you later. I'll call you later. I pray. I will call you back. That's not prayer. Real prayer. You are praying, you forget yourself. Real prayer. Real prayer. So it comes with hunger. It comes with passion. Ezekiel said, I clave. He held on. He held on. There are prices to pay in the place of prayer. He said, I clave to the Lord and departed not from following him. So when the hunger comes, you can't leave God. You want to stay with him. Others may look as if they are running ahead of you. You want to stay with him. He said, and I stayed following him. He said, but kept his commandments. It is the spirit of prayer. It is the advent of revival that will make you keep to this word. Make you keep to this scripture. As the Bible said in 2 Timothy chapter 3, so all scripture is written by inspiration of God. It's profitable. The scripture becomes profitable in the place of prayer. It becomes profitable. He said, which the Lord commanded Moses. In verse 7, he said, and the Lord was with him. Can we say it together? And the Lord was with him. In verse 7, can we say it together? And the Lord was with him. Divine presence. Divine presence. Hunger came. He clave to God. He carried divine presence. Divine presence. Because of what? Hunger. Divine presence was in place. He was able to carry divine presence. He clave to God. The passion was there. He distinguished himself from other people that came before him. When he came, he saw that they were having a form of godliness. Asa came, was having a form of godliness. Hosea, we saw it. That one had the privilege. He had even higher visibility. He was the king of Israel. Ezekiel was just the king of Judah. He had higher visibility. But he abused it. All other kings decided to dwell